All right, in this video, I'm going to be going through the Fraser Valley and covering all of the areas that have been absolutely smashed. And I'm even going to cover some areas that have, oddly enough, been soaring in price. So I've got my list of areas that I'm going to cover here today. And let's get into it, starting with Brookswood Langley, specifically Brookswood Detached. Now you can see on the right here, they are down 5.8% March of 2025 in comparison to March of 2024. Now, I love Brookswood for a detached home, 1970s home, bigger lots, 8 to 4,000 square foot lots. You can probably get a really nice home now in Brookswood for like 1.3. You can get, a livable home probably around 1.2 now. So that's nice to see. Sales ratio currently sitting at 11%, and it's been moving up from a low of 6% in January, which is a very strong buyer's market. Inventory for detached in Brookswood is basically at all-time highs, just a touch below, about 4 listings below all-time highs right now. Next area we're going to get into is East Abbotsford Detached, where I own my home, and we are down negative 3.5%. Sales to actives ratio is at 20%, so it's actually in a seller's market. So again, the HPI is a lagging indicator. So this is showing us what happened a couple months ago, but it's not showing us what is happening right now. So when you have a sales ratio of 20%, it's pretty unlikely that you're going to see sustained price declines the months following. And if you look at inventory for East Abbotsford Detached, it's still low in comparison to where it's been in the past. So although the price of March 2025 versus March 2024 is 3.5% lower, I think Abbotsford Detached East specifically is going to be stabilized in the short term just because inventory isn't too crazy. And then you're technically in a seller's market right now. Next, we got Central Abbotsford Apartments down 4% with a sales to actives ratio of 15, down 52% from this time last year. So it is much harder to sell a condo in Central Abbotsford at the moment. And if we look at inventory, it's up 36.2%, but it's still not too crazy. You're kind of around like the historic average for inventory when it comes to condos in Central Abbotsford. Now, I just wanted to quickly touch on this. Townhomes in West Abbotsford are actually up 3.6%. Next, we got Langley City detached homes down 4.5%. Sales to actives ratio is at 11%. Up from a low of basically 5%, which is extremely low sales ratio. And if we take a look at inventory, it's getting up there. It's up 28.4% year over year. Next, something I've covered quite a few times, Whalley Apartments, Surrey Central, down 4.8%. Sales to actives is declining instead of going up like we saw with East Abbey Detached at 8%. So you're likely to see price declines continue, and that is down 59.2% year over year. And when we go to inventory, I have no idea what happened over here. This is very interesting. Like maybe a couple towers completed or something like that. I have no idea, but I think it's safe to say, excluding this, which is basically like a pandemic style data point, we're pretty much at all-time highs for condos in Whalley, up 58.6% year over year. Whalley townhomes apparently down 8.5%. Now, I don't fully believe that they're actually down 8.5%. What I think this could be is in Surrey Central at the bottom of concrete towers, there's actually, there might be 10 to 15 townhomes at the bottom of a concrete tower. They're not actually a townhome because they don't have a garage, but they feel like a townhome because they're a 2-story unit. They're basically a townhome without a garage. And the strata fees are really high. They're very expensive to live in. It's a luxury product. And I could see those being down a whole lot right now because the strata fees on those are like $900, $800 a month because it's like a 1,400 square foot unit that's like 60 cents per square foot strata fee. And maybe that's why Whalley townhomes are down 8.5%. Hey, if you're a realtor and you're thinking about making a change, my team, the TK Group, is hiring. And if you want to chat with me about what that looks like, you can book a time to chat with me in my calendar below. Obviously, we help you with things like what I'm doing here, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, leads, and everything in between. So if you're thinking about making that change, reach out to me. I'd love to hop on a call with you. Next, we got G-Town Apartments, Guilford Apartments, down 3.9%. I'm going to guess because that's its proximity to Whalley. It's just the next neighborhood over. Sales to actives ratio is currently at, I don't even know what this is, down from 22%. I don't know how the data gets skewed this much. Maybe there's just not very many sales happening here. Let's take a look. Yeah, there's 18 sales. So that's how you end up with data that's that skewed. Let's see the inventory here. Up 56.6%, 83 condos for sale in Guilford right now. Next, we are on to townhomes in Guilford, which are down 4%. Sales to actives, down 74.2% sales ratio, sitting at 16%, which isn't that bad. And inventory, again, 51, nothing crazy. You're kind of right around the historic average there for townhomes in Guilford. Next, I got on here East Newton. You can see detached performing decently well, up 0.6, but apartments are down 3.3, and townhomes are apparently down 4.6% in East Newton. Now, this one was surprising to me. Townhomes in Cloverdale are down 3.1%, and apartments are down 3.6% in Cloverdale, which is, I talked to a lot of buyers who want to be in Cloverdale. I myself would live in Cloverdale, and it is a very, end user focused area. There's not a whole lot of investors targeting specifically Cloverdale. So it is interesting to see that townhomes and apartments are not performing very well. But let's take a look at the sales to actives in this area. Yeah, I mean, you have townhomes at 22% sales to actives ratio. So I doubt you're going to see, crazy price declines in this area when you're technically in a seller's market. Let's look at apartments. Apartments are, pretty much in a seller's market as well, right on the cusp, 19.5%. So although prices are down year over year, this market is holding up pretty well. Next, we have Grandview in South Surrey. Apartments down 3%, townhomes down 4.2%. You have detached only down 1%. Let's see the sales to actives for apartments at 14%, balanced. And townhomes, you are at, look at this, down 63.5%, but you're still at 18%, which is a balanced market. Now, this might be the worst one out of all of them. White Rock detached homes down 7.7%. I actually had a client reach out to me with a luxury home that he wanted me to sell. A couple realtors had listed it now, and I took a look at what was on the market because I was like, I don't think it's priced that bad. But I looked at the price band because he was like somewhere in the 2 millions. And there was like 20 houses all sitting on the market, very comparable, all in that price band. So if you're buying like a $2 million house in and around this area, you have a lot of choice right now. Look at this, sales to actives, 4% right now for White Rock. So that's how you end up down 7.8% year over year. Next, we have Elgin Chantrell in South Surrey, again, down 5.8% for detached, with a sales to actives of 7%. Fleetwood Apartments down 5%, but let's take a look at the sales to actives for Fleetwood. 15%. I mean, it's not terrible in comparison to like a Whalley that's at, 8%. We take a look at townhomes, sales to actives for townhomes is only 11%. And the price is up 1% year over year. But Fleetwood detached is down 4.4%. And sales to actives is 9%. So Surrey's getting beat up pretty much everywhere, as you can see. So we go to Sullivan right now, detached down 0.9, apartments down 3.5, and townhomes are only down 1.8. Now let's get into what's going up in price, okay? I recently saw on the Tom Stories show that Steve was talking about basically detached homes around $3 million are just going crazy in Langley, and he's right. I mean, Fort Langley's up 7%. The average price here is $2.3 million. Sales to actives apparently 41% right now. How many sales are happening in this market? There's only 9 sales, but again, let's see the inventory here. Yeah, I mean, there's only 22 homes on the market. So, I mean, that absorption rate is crazy. And if you look at any of these, more rural markets in Langley where the price is over $2 million, Otter District up 7%. Campbell Valley up 8.5%. Why is that? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know why I don't have clients buying $3 million homes. I don't operate in this market, but if I had to guess, I mean, when the market came down basically 40% in the valley off its high in February 2022, You're looking at a $3 million home that's now like 1.8 million bucks, right? Or even if it's like, let's be conservative and say 20%, your $3 million home is now 2.4 million. So it's a much, much bigger scale of a correction on a percentage basis, or actually in a dollar amount, via the percentage basis when you're looking at these, large luxury acreage homes. So there's your update. I mean, as you can see, most of those big losses were happening in Surrey, with the exception of, a few areas in Langley, like Brookswood detached. You had, East Abbotsford detached down 3.5%. But again, the data is actually not looking too bad in a seller's market with decently low inventory. But Surrey, I mean, you have sales ratios dropping, inventory rising, and big price declines. So Surrey right now is getting beat up. Rural acreage homes in Langley are performing absolutely unbelievably, apparently. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe. If you want to chat with me about buying or selling in the Fraser Valley, link in the description. Otherwise, I'm that Agent Kelly. I'm making moves to move you. Peace.